cold, it's cold, it's cold, it's cold outside.
You know that it's cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
We know that it's cold outside. Tell me why it's cold outside.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, why it's cold outside. Dum 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 boom 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 boom.
It's cold
Boom dum dum
outside.
boom dum
It's
boom.
cold. It's cold
Boom dum boom
outside.
boom dum boom boom
Outside.
boom boom boom. All right.
Okay.
Hey TikTok, it's your girl Ty Lindsay, and I have got on here to extend an invite and invite you all to my book signing that I will be hosting February 21st. It's on a Saturday. It'll be here in Columbus, Ohio. I will be dropping more details as we get closer to there. However, I do need you guys to register. You can register at TyLindsay123 at outlook.com. TyLindsay123 at outlook.com. This is really going to be just a great moment to get together, to get to know one another. If you are somebody that's seeking community, godly community, sisterhood, and things of that nature, you want to come. So as you guys know, I just wrote and published my second book. It's titled Tripping for God. And my idea behind this book, or I should say my inspiration, is because when I was first started in my journey with God, I used to read scripture and be like, what? Like, God, don't show his face like this anymore. Like, we'll never be able to experience a God like this. But little did I know that God was going to make me an example. He was going to make me an example. So if you're someone who struggled with scripture, you feel like the way that the disciples and everyone experienced God back in the biblical times, if you feel like we will never experience him that way, I'm here to tell you that I am a walking testimony that is false, okay? So that is what this book is about. This book is about me tripping for God, literally.
Sorry for that, y'all. Another multi-platinum hit from the Lenses. But we back again, new episode. The Lenses, we back again. Here with my beautiful wife,
Ty Lindsay.
your boy TJ Lindsay, and we ready again for a new episode. Make sure you pre-order the book coming out Monday or tomorrow.
Yep. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Tripping for God. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, no, go ahead.
Tripping for God. Make sure you pre-order that book on our website.
Yes.
HopeFieldRadio.com. That's where you can pre-order. You can also get the Kindle on Amazon.com. We can't wait to get this book into y'all hands. It's a phenomenal read. And yeah, we just hope y'all really enjoy it, and make sure y'all grab that book. The book signing is February 21st. If you want to register at
TyLindsay123 at outlook.com.
or you can go to HopeFieldRadio.com/contact and send us a message through that page as well.
Yes.
So
My birthday is on Monday. Not the
how can we forget? Maybe that's what I was confusing with, because we got a wonderful date coming up for my wife's birthday. And yeah, we ready to celebrate her, celebrate this book, and have a good year.
Yeah.
That's about it. So we got a really good topic today. We're going to go a little deep. We hope this topic inspires you guys. We hope it gives you some good value. And there's a couple different topics we're going to touch on. But the first one we're going to talk about today is boo-doo, boo-doo, boop. Let me find it.
Hey.
There's a lot I got written down. Okay. Having children before marriage. So, before we start the episode, let's get some context behind this episode. I had my first child when I was 17 years old. So I was a child before I was a senior in high school. I was a father at my prom. You know, me and Tiana had both of our children before we were married. So there's a right way and there's a wrong way to do it. And we want to talk about God's grace
Yes.
in that scenario, but we also want to talk about the right way to do it.
Yes.
So we want to preface this by saying that we were people that had kids out of wedlock.
Yep. Yep.
So let's start there. But I'm gonna start with this question. What do you think the church gets wrong about unmarried parents, and what do they get right?
What do they get wrong?
Because in the church, usually, that's not the way it's supposed to go. You shouldn't even be
That's true.
fornicating outside of marriage. Shouldn't be having any kind of relations outside of marriage. So, do you think that the church contributes to people possibly being ashamed by having children before they get married?
Yes. So I've actually heard someone had shared a story where they wanted to be a part of the choir at the church, and the church said no.
Wow.
Yeah, because this young lady had children out of wedlock, and so they said no. And so
Wow.
I think that can cause a person to be like, okay, well, if I'm not welcomed at the church, then honestly, truthfully, what would God want with me then? If you're going to tell me no, I can't sing despite, what I've done, despite the sin I've committed, however you want to look at it, and you telling me that I can't worship with the church, then I don't belong to the church. So I can see where a person would feel like, no, I'm cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you feel like that's right or wrong?
I feel like there is, I don't know how to answer this. I feel like yes and no, I guess. So I don't feel like it's right to shame, the people of the church. It's not right to. I've also heard of people telling stories where like the pastor has called them up in front of the entire congregation and was like, now admit your sin, like that kind of thing. Like I think that's wrong. I don't think we should be doing that. However, if we're talking about standards, if we're going to go on biblical standards, I can see where the pastor would want you to be following said standards. So that part I do understand.
Yeah.
So it's like a yes or no for me. I don't know. I hope I answer good enough for you.
No, I feel you. I
can see where you would want, because you're coming in and no, you're not supposed to look up to me. Ultimately, it's God. That's who we're pleasing. However, as your leader, I do have to show you how you should walk this thing out. I'm your leader. And so, by default, I want everything to be right.
Yeah.
Right standing, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah. I feel like, just to piggyback, I'm going to be quick here. We're going to move on. I feel like in that season or in that step that you take within, like, if you made this mistake, or, children are never a mistake, what I'm saying? Because it's a blessing, but God ain't done with you. He ain't throwing you away because you had a child.
Right.
I think that needs to be. I agree with we need to understand how we need to walk when we're in the body of Christ. However, we also need to see how God's grace is sufficient for you if you have made this,
right.
this thing. If you fornicated, you've sinned.
Yes.
That God's grace will hold you up, and He's not going to throw you away because of this sin. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to do a good job of that as well. But I think both sides are right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
There's two rights to this. So
Yeah.
you should understand that I didn't do it the right way. And I feel like that's where we're trying to go with this conversation. That's why we started off by saying we didn't do it the right way.
Right.
You know?
Correct. Yeah.
However, God's grace is sufficient to bring us whole, make us whole through this situation.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't walk away from the faith because somebody is telling you that was the wrong way to do it.
Right.
I think we need to get closer to God in that season instead of getting away from Him. But I'm going to go to the next question, which is, why do you think people are more willing to have kids before getting married in 2026? Is it fear of commitment to marriage, or is it something else?
Why are they more willing to have kids?
Yeah, because people think that marriage is a big commitment. They think marriage is a bigger commitment than having kids.
That's insane.
Which is insane, but go ahead.
Read the question again. What you just said was kind of insane.
Why do you think people are more willing to have kids before getting married in 2026?
I think it's a society thing. That's just what we see. You see a lot of people who have children and they're not married, and these individuals, they stay together forever. There's some cases where they stay together forever. They're all in the house together. They got the kids. They raise their kids. All of that. They just never get married. I think that's more highlighted than marriage to me. So I think there's a lot of things that causes that. And if you think about history, like how these two individuals grew up together, they may not have seen a marriage. And this is what we've seen, so we are reiterating that, or we're imitating that again, because that's all we know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, but more so on the what's like the way we see marriage as being a bigger commitment.
Yeah, now that's
kids.
insane to me.
Yeah.
That you would, because children are, I think, okay, so that's better, what you just said. I don't like, this is how I personally feel, and this is not an attack to anyone, but I feel like when you have that mindset of marriage is more of a greater commitment than children, I just feel like you're undermining the significance or the importance of children. Like, that's a whole nother being that you have to care for. That is an individual that you are now responsible for this person. And children are a gift from God. That's in scripture. Yeah. I'm giving you a gift.
Yeah.
So I feel like we play along with it. Like, we don't take it that serious. Like, we play with it. Like, oh, you got kids? Oh, that's nothing. We kind of sort of play with it. And it's like, no, that's huge. That's a huge gift. That's a big commitment. And that takes a great deal of responsibility.
Yeah. And you can't divorce kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can, like I told you, I had a child when I was 17 years old. I'm still that child's father. That child is going to be 19 this year.
Yes.
And I'm 36 years old. My mom's still my mom, you know? And there's kids out there that are older than me that their parents still take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not, that's a commitment that you can't divorce yourself from.
Yeah.
It's not even in death. Like, when you die and you marry, you're not married no more. You know what I'm saying? But if you die and you have kids, your kids still live on with your DNA, with your legacy built into them. So it's a more everlasting commitment than just a marriage is. And I feel like we need to be educated better on that commitment. I feel like that's something that we aren't educated enough in. And I think we need to tell people early about the commitment of having children, because that's a commitment that is
but we don't do a good job
everlasting.
We don't do a good job at looking at it that way. It's just kind of sort of like, she had a baby, she had 3 kids, now they got 4 kids, 5 kids. Like, it's like, that's how we look at it.
Kanye said 18 years. 18 years. You got one of your kids, got you for 18 years. He should have said
I'm
a
done.
lifetime because it don't end at 18.
Yeah.
So, next question within that segment. I think you already touched on this a little bit, but the Bible says children are a blessing from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Does that blessing change based on whether the parents are married or not?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think
It's
so
a
either.
gift. It's a blessing. It's a okay. If you do have children, so I can speak for myself. When I had my daughter, there was a sense of guilt for me. Actually, when I had both of my kids, when I was pregnant with my son, I was angry. I was upset. I was not happy because I did not want another kid, and I did not want another baby out of wedlock, even though we were preparing for a wedding or a marriage.
Yeah.
I think you were contemplating at that point
Yeah.
before you decided to propose.
Yeah.
So I just was upset. But when we had our daughter, I kind of went through a thing of like, oh my gosh, I'm about to have this baby out of wedlock. So it was a lot of guilt for me. But God's grace was still like there.
Yeah.
Like it still was a beautiful bundle of joy. It was still a beautiful blessing. I don't think that God looked at it and said, I don't know, you're gonna have a hard time now, curse you, because you know what I'm saying? Like it's in his word. He's telling you like you know, their gift. So I don't feel like just because you're not married, it's no longer a blessing. Like I don't feel that way.
I don't feel that way either.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a blessing in any way that you see it. So I'll move on to the next question, which is kind of, again, in the same concept what we've been talking about. And this is more of the why of what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
When someone has a baby out of wedlock, why does shame often push them away from God instead of bringing them closer? How should the church respond differently in that situation? Because we talked about that a little bit earlier, but
so
why?
I think reason why I think it's because I'm gonna speak in a general sense, and then I could tell you why I felt ashamed. But basically, what we said about the church, like, okay, I understand that I had a baby out of wedlock. I made a mistake. I'm sinning. That's what I'm in. Mm-hmm. And I choose to, even through that, I'm still choosing to, I want to honor God. But then you turn around and you tell me no. Or I can't come to the choir. I can't be a part of the choir. You tell me no. Or you make me get up in front of the entire congregation and admit to everyone what I've done. Those kind of things would be one of the reasons why a person is going to walk away. Mm-hmm. Like, this is crazy. I already have to shame myself. I'm already feeling guilty. And then you come along and you add to that shame. You add on top of that shame. But I think we as a people, we have to do a better job of understanding that just because a person in the church don't allow their behaviors or their reactions, don't allow that to alter the way you see God. I think that's where we go wrong. Mm-hmm. Like, somebody can hurt you in the church, but that don't mean that you walk away from the church, because the church is full of good people as well. We're all sick. That's why we're there. But you may come across someone like myself who I can sit down and have a conversation with you and say, girl, I had 2 kids out of wedlock. Mm-hmm. Like, what we talking about? What we doing here? I love you. Let's worship. You know what I'm saying? But we don't get to that point because we're already guilty within ourselves, and then we're offended. It brings on a lot of offense because we're not working on that shame. Mm-hmm. And I think that ties into what your relationship is with God, because if you locked in with God, then you'll understand that along the way. Just because the pastor said that, or just because the pastor did that to me, or the people out in the congregation said this and that, just because they did that doesn't mean that God feels that way about me.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't know that unless you have a relationship with him, unless you're reading his word, honestly. So I think the church, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. Yeah. I think that the church could do a better job at just being more honest in their sin or their struggles.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think a lot of people kind of, especially if you in leadership, they like to shy away from that. You get some people that like to shy away. They won't say what they struggle with, or they won't say what they walk through.
Yeah.
So I think they should do a better job at being more honest, so that we can feel more welcome. And I was ashamed because of how, my relationship with God. Like, man, I got this baby out of wedlock, and it wasn't that God felt that way about me, but it was me feeling that way about myself. So I had to do the work on forgiving myself. God had already told me, I forgive you. I sent my son to the cross. It's already forgiven, and you have to understand that. You have to believe that.
Oh, yeah.
And then it takes you as well to say, okay, Ty, you have to forgive yourself for what you did.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
No,
I know that was
sense.
a lot.
No, I totally get it. I think that question was, because I think that happens. That's why I like that you did that, because I think that question is, when we talk about parenthood and we talk about having kids out of wedlock, me being a father, though I may feel some of that same guilt, I won't feel the same. It will not be the same situation as how a mother will feel.
Yes.
The person that's actually having this child, So I like that you did go in about that, because that is important. So pushing us away from God, I think a mother is, because it's all over you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't hide that. Like if I come to church, I can't hide that I'm having a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Me, I can come to church and act like ain't nothing wrong.
Yeah, you sit there and be like, don't nobody really know.
I can even be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Yeah.
The whole time.
That's
you
what I'm
got
saying.
these kids out of wedlock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's good. I didn't even look at it that way, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
So I think that's why I think that question, for women, I think it's more of a.
Wow, I'm curious to know. We probably struggle with it more than guys.
Yeah, I would say for sure. It would bring more of a self-doubt upon them than it would upon a man. So that's why I think that question is important to ask women. Okay, what does God's timing versus our timing actually mean when you have a baby before marriage? Is it out of order, or is it God redeeming our choices? So
I think it's both.
So God's timing. God, let me rephrase this question.
Okay.
So when we say God's timing, everything that we do in our life, like let's say something, we have adverse effects from certain things. Everything ain't God's timing. Everything ain't God's will. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we made a mistake and it was out of order. You know what I'm saying, in our life.
Yeah.
However, there is a time where the Lord gonna teach you a lesson through something that you do to prepare you for the next season of life.
Yes.
So I think we have to understand that as people, though, because like I said, everything that happened, if you make and this is outside of just having a baby. Like sometimes you'll do something in your life and consequences will come.
Yes.
And we always point to, well, God didn't want me to have it at that time. It was God's time. Sometimes God probably maybe did want you to have it, but you messed it up. You know what I'm saying? And I think both can be true at the same time. But in a woman having parents having babies out of wedlock, it's always a blessing, but that doesn't always mean that's what God designed you to do. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that. And I agree. Yeah, you said it perfectly fine. I feel like we don't understand the significance of, even though it's a blessing, even though it's a blessing, even though we know that Jesus died on the cross for our sins, even though we know all that, it's easy for us to say God is going to make a way, and he will. However, I think that there's a lack of understanding as far as our consequences within the out of order choices that we make. So within the sin that we make. us having children out of wedlock, there's no telling what God was brewing for us. We'll never know because we was moving out of order. It's a beautiful thing. I wouldn't trade it for the world what we have now. Beautiful, but we would just never know. How do we know what else he had specifically for us outside of that before we started just moving the way that we wanted to move? Does that make sense what I'm saying?
That makes perfect sense. And even in us doing it, like the question says, your timeline can be reordered. I forgot what there's a scripture in the Bible where he said God is a renewer of time. Like he can So like you said, I agree with that. Like there's no telling, not saying that it was God's timing for us to have these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
However, it can be made whole after the fact.
It can be.
Yeah.
But we have to understand that there are, and maybe I'm going a little bit too deep here, but I feel like I should be saying this. There are consequences for the sin and the choices that we decide to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like that goes along with God's timing. Like, yeah, we know that God is going to get the glory for whatever he's going to bring us out of, but it's in his timing, and we have to understand that. Do that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you may go through some things, and that's a consequence out of the sin that you chose to do.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that God's timing, it's all on his timing. Whenever he decides to bring you out of that, or whatever he decides to bless you with.
Yeah.
I hope I'm making sense. But I think a lot of times we don't understand that part. But yeah, I probably went left. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I think that's a great conversation. I think there's one more question I have here regarding that conversation. It's a long one, but I think it's a good one.
Okay.
And it's needed to be had as far as just this whole conversation. If you have a child with someone you're not married to, should you automatically marry them for the child's sake? Or is it better to co-parent well than to have a broken marriage?
I don't think you should automatically marry them. No.
And that's why I think, okay, when we think about it like that, all right,
Yeah.
that just, all right, now we can talk about us a little bit more now. I think that's the reason why, like I said, we've made these mistakes in our lives, but now we see why we should have gotten married first. Because if you're getting married first, like, children are being born into, now, we were together. It wasn't like we were, this wasn't, no, you know what I'm saying? That type of situation, but children are coming out of love. They're coming out of preparation. Like when Jesus was born, the wise men came, you know what I'm saying? They had it was a joyous occasion that this child was brought into this world, you know? And I think that in a lot of our society today, a lot of children aren't being brought into the world with that type of love. And I think that affects them later on in life.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you have a marriage, you have a foundation, you have a house. Your house is not built on sand. It's built on, you know what I'm saying, on stone, you know, and it's not easily moved. And I feel like that's the reason why it's important to have a marriage before you have children, in my opinion. Again, that wasn't us.
Yeah.
But we know, we keep talking about it. We know that was wrong in this day and age. And so I feel like that is very important. But if you want to answer the question,
I just say no, basically, just to piggyback off of what you said, because what happens if you just have a one-night stand? That's a lot of times that's what happens. You had a one-night stand, or you've been dealing with a person that y'all just, that's just what y'all do.
Yeah.
And now y'all have a baby.
And
now
y'all don't love each other.
Yeah, we supposed to marry each other.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's where baby mama drama come from.
Yeah. Because I truly don't like you.
Yeah.
We just were here to please our flesh.
Yes.
And a baby came. And so that's why I think, like, no, I don't think you should marry them. Which is why, again, we shouldn't be fornicating, because all of this stuff happens. You're doing this. the kid is the blessing, but look at what this kid has to go through now because you wanted to please your flesh over everything and above everything else.
Yes. It's the rose that grew from the concrete.
Yes.
So the rose comes out of a tough situation. However, there's going to be a time where, you know what I'm saying, the rose still going to need sunlight and water.
Yes.
For it to grow to its full potential.
Yes.
And I think that the friction between two people who don't love each other and who don't care about each other often gets in the way of the amount of sunlight and water that rose will get throughout its lifespan.
Yeah. You know how many kids want their parents to be together? Every kid wants their parents to be together.
Every kid wants. Yeah. So it's like
we already stripping them from that. I mean, thank God we were in a situation where we were actually in this thing, but I just can't. Every kid want their parents together.
Yeah.
That's every kid's, like, what kid wouldn't? I mean, think about when your parents are still married, but I can think about when I was growing up, like, dang, I wish they were still together.
Yeah.
Like every kid want their, the parents together, and it's just like we strip them of that out of our foolishness or out of our sinful ways.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I think that you shouldn't marry somebody just because you have a baby with them. But you shouldn't. That's the byproduct of you already making a decision that you should have. That you probably shouldn't have made, that you should have cultivated. We need to be more respectful of our bodies. We need to be not just give ourselves to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And we need to prioritize love and loving relationships in marriage.
And then you can't even you that was good when you said take care of your bodies. I'm
Keep on.
quite sure that there's men and women who can't stand. Now I can't stand the fact that I have this child with you. And that goes to what we're stripping the child of, because now I can't even enjoy the beauty. I can't even enjoy the blessing all the way because I can't stand who I had this child with.
Exactly.
It's just so many things, us doing that. There's so many things that we bring the kid into, and it's unfortunate because it's unfair to them.
That was good. That was a good topic. That was needed. So this next topic, a more relationship topic. It's about traveling with your significant other. So what's the most stressful trip we've ever taken together?
I think we both will agree it was when we went to Fort Myers.
Why? I can tell you why, but go ahead.
I just feel like it wasn't. We didn't do anything. It was stressful because we didn't do anything. When I say we didn't do anything, we really didn't do it. We didn't have a plan.
No, we didn't.
So for me, that's why it was stressful. And we couldn't move how we wanted to move.
We didn't have a car.
Yeah.
We didn't have a hotel. Stayed at my sister's house.
Yes.
It was pretty much just sitting in the room and at the house for like a week.
Yeah.
And we didn't we didn't have a hotel. We didn't have a car. We didn't have no money.
Yeah, that part too.
So, yeah. So I think I would say that was, but I think we learned a lesson in that vacation that we need to better prepare.
Better prepare, yeah. Absolutely. And I think from that situation, now when we do travel, we have everything put together as far as where we're going to be at or how we're going to get to places. Yeah. Because it was kind of like, dang.
I'm an itinerary person.
Yeah.
So I got to have we doing this on this day.
Yeah.
Doing this day.
Yeah.
So now we are much better suited at vacation. So the next question, what do you actually learn about someone when you travel with them that you can't learn on regular dates?
That is a good question. I feel like you learn different characteristics about them in different ways. Like, are they adventurous? I can sit now we could sit across the table at a date and I can say, yeah, I'm adventurous. I like to do this. I like to do that. okay, so when we go travel, I'm expecting you to do X, Y, and Z. Do you really like to do those things, or do you not like to do those things? And I think for us, one thing for us that I absolutely enjoy, even though it is stressful at the moment, I feel like every time we travel, there's always something thrown. We're always thrown just by something. It could be something simple, but we're always something kind of just take us out the loop some way, somehow. And I just feel like in that moment, I'm able to experience my husband as far as, okay, now I have to make a decision without sitting down and calculating that decision, or I have to figure out how we finna get out of this situation. So survival mode kind of kicks in. And so that's one of the things that I love when we travel, because I'm always like, okay, what we gonna do next, or how we gonna do this, you know? So I think you could just get to see your partner in a different way. Are you truly these things that you said that you are?
I think conflict resolution is good when you travel because this gonna sound crazy, but I mean we got to go back together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and it's like in this location. Let's say we go to a beautiful location. You know what I'm saying? It makes a lot easier for us to be like, let's not argue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's not fight right
Yeah.
now. You know, let's figure it out. And that I feel like can translate over into your regular life when you're back at home.
Yeah.
It's like I learned this in that season that it's not worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially when you know what I'm saying? When our goal is to continue to live this life in abundance in a way that it's not worth it.
It's
you know
not
what I'm saying?
worth
It's not
all
worth
the
to be
fighting.
mad. And
Yeah.
I think it allowed me as a husband to be much more able to resolve conflicts easier just because like it's not worth it, especially when you're on vacation and the beach is 30 steps away. Like I'm not about to argue
with you about this. Yeah.
when I can see the ocean out the window.
Yeah. That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that one, like, that kind of is what I was saying about just watching us in the survival mode. Like when we went to St. Louis, and then some way, somehow your car got tapped into.
Oh man!
So it's like, dang, we in St. Louis.
Yeah.
We in the middle of purchasing the house.
Yeah.
And then somebody then tapped into my account. What?
Took a big amount of cheese.
Yeah,
up
just
off me.
little stuff like that. I think those are the things. Those are like the highlights. I know that sounds crazy, but those are like the highlights of when we're traveling for me. Like this last time when we went to San Diego and we was on them bikes and we went way beyond where we were supposed to be, and it's like, okay, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah, you're right. Again, that's conflict resolution.
Yeah.
That's like, all right. It's like on that bike trip, all right, I done got us lost. How we get back. You know what I'm saying? And we can't be mad at each other in that. I don't know. Like I said, it's great team building exercises.
It is.
Vacations are the best team building exercises, in my opinion. Why do you think travel is such a good test of compatibility? What does it reveal? Patience, flexibility, communication, etc. I think we talked about that.
A little bit. Yeah, it allows you to see if you like this person or not. I will say that.
Well, that's the next question. Have you ever gone on a trip with somebody and realized this isn't going to work? What did the trip reveal?
Yes, I have.
Me too.
It was just a simple, no.
Yeah.
I was in a beautiful place too. I wanted to go home. I was just kind of like, I want to go home. Because this person, like, they wanted to, like, shop a lot. And I just feel like I could shop a lot at home. We're somewhere beautiful. Like, I'm adventurous. Like, I want to get out. I want to see. I want to explore. And I was just like, nah, this ain't gonna work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was more so it was a lot of just extraness, and just extraness. My family got to meet this person for the first time, and it was just like they weren't compatible. So it was like, okay, maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe this ain't
it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask this question. We can go ahead and go here. Well, what's the difference between a vacation and traveling to grow together? So that's a kind of both what we just spoke about. How can couples use travel intentionally to strengthen their relationship? I think we do this by anniversary traveling. So it's tradition. We go somewhere every year.
Yeah.
So San Diego, DC, where we go? Cleveland, Toronto, Niagara Falls, San Diego. Yeah.
This year, Switzerland.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I feel like having that tradition allows us to strengthen our relationship, and also like having that tradition with the kids. So we went to Universal Studios a couple years ago with the kids. Having that as well, having a yearly like family trip, not even yearly, it could be more than that, but I think scheduling and creating a tradition around traveling, it allows you to strengthen your relationship, as opposed to a vacation where it's hard to even get a vacation together. Vacation is one of those where you got a group of friends, or you got a, you know what I'm saying, or you got a significant other, whatever you're trying to do there, and everything is just not scheduled, and it's not with love. You know what I'm saying? Like when me and my wife travel, like anniversary trip, we gonna go all out.
Yeah. And I think when you do that, on the traveling thing that you said, to make, to help the couples grow together, one thing a piece of advice I could give y'all is to, so when you are doing the itinerary, whatever it is that you're trying to do, when you're doing that, I think that you should make sure that you block out some time to be very intentional, for you and your spouse. So for example, when we went to, I think every trip we go on, we always there's always a chunk or a block of time that we take out where we're talking to each other about different things. Or like as far as where we see each other, our future, things like that. We always make sure we put that time into just traveling. So of course you want to have fun with your partner, but this is also a time for us to be away from home, and we're also focused on me and you. Like with Canada, when we went on the hike, that was like an hour and a half long of us being able to talk to each other about different things. We just went to San Diego. We went to Funny How Marriage Works. Yeah. Those little things, I think you should make sure that you are intentional with blocking out time.
Yeah.
To help continue you and your spouse to grow in that area, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think you jumped ahead to the next question there too. It's all right. If you can't afford big trips, how can you create travel-like experiences? Road trips, day trips, new experiences to learn and grow together. Well, that's kind of a little different there.
Yeah.
But how would you answer that question?
So we travel a lot. To be honest with you, we travel a lot.
Yeah, but I'm talking about not like the big trips. I'm talking about like the...
Yeah, that's with the small trips.
Okay,
now, from the outside looking in, a person might be like, "Oh, they always doing this lavish vacation, or they always lavishly traveling," and it's like, no, we just went to Indiana.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just to go, like, that's like, what? How long is that drive?
2.5.
2.5 hours away. So it doesn't have to be something massive or something big. It doesn't have to be that.
You gotta know your area, in my opinion. I think a lot of people, the reason why they're not able to create like the smaller vacation trips, because they're so focused on the bigger ones. And if you know where you live, like where we live in a place where we're so close to everything. DC is not far from us. DC is what, 6 hours, 6.5?
Yeah, 6. 6.5
to 7, whatever.
Yeah.
DC is not far. Toronto is 6 hours from us. You gotta have a passport, but 6 hours. Chicago, 5 hours. Nashville, like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Indiana, like 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Detroit, like 3 hours. We live close to so many different places. Pittsburgh, not that far from us. You know, you could be experiencing so many different things, but you just don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And also, outside of like trying to live lavish in the city and all that, like you were just saying, like a hike is an amazing way, or like camping.
Yeah,
Like, that type of stuff is so dope.
Yeah.
So camping, like hikes and day trips, like you said, like the Children's Museum is in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? We went there one time, come right back. You know, things like that. Cincinnati is, you know what I'm saying, that's in Ohio. So yeah, I just think you gotta exploit your area, and it's not always about the hotel, the beach, and all of that.
Yep.
Some of the smaller trips are sometimes the best ones.
Yep.
So pack a cooler, get you some juices, or some sandwiches.
Yeah.
And you could literally do it for nothing.
Yep.
Like we do that a lot. So last question within this segment. No. So we're gonna move on to the last segment. All right. So this is gonna be the end of the episode. But all of this stuff that we talked about today, so we want to just conclude this on just a premise of, you know, changing the generations of our family. So we talked earlier about how, you know what I'm saying, having kids out of wedlock and traveling, and, you know, we're talking about all of these different things right now. So one thing that we wanted to talk about is how doing this is changing the generations of our family. No, I don't. Hold on. Wait. I think I jumped ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. I jumped ahead because there's one more thing that I don't think we talked about yet. Hold up. My fault. I missed the whole second. 1 second. So, building a home together versus just living together. My fault.
Dang, that's an important one.
That's a good one. That's the best one. All right. So what's the difference between living together and building a home together? Is it just semantics, or is it something deeper? My fault, y'all. This is the one. Go ahead.
Well, it's definitely something deeper. When you living together, it's like a typical roommate situation. When you building something together, you are trying to establish the foundation. You're establishing, let's actually put it in the context of building a house for a second. You're establishing the foundation. You're establishing, you and I have to work together to figure out the concrete, the trenches, how deep it's going to be dug. What do you put right here? What goes right here? It's different than, all right, this place is already here. You my roommate. I'm your. All right. You got this room. I got that room. That's it. See how different that is. It is much more deeper.
Yeah.
I would say.
So why do you think so many couples in 2026 live together before marriage? Is it practical, or is it a lack of commitment? Because we do live in a society where the economy is in a place to where if we live together, we would pay less in bills, possibly. But are we doing it for that? Or are we doing it because we don't want to get married?
Yeah, I say it's a mixture. I say it's both.
Okay. I agree with that.
Yeah, I would say both.
Can you build a true home without covenant? Or is living together without marriage just playing house? Ooh.
I feel like it's playing house.
Why?
Because it is. I think so. This is no attack to anyone. We lived together before we got married.
We did.
So we can speak on this very well. I think what happens is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna use us because I don't want anybody to like feel attacked. I'm gonna use us. So when we moved in together, what happens is there's a sense of comfortability that comes along where it's like, okay, I can get used to this and that's it.
Yeah.
So I know for me, I know you probably thought I was crazy, but I never let down the idea of, no, I desire marriage. And if you can't get with that, we're not going to be able to work.
Yeah.
So there was a point in time, like I was literally laying on the couch. This is before TJ proposed. I was on the couch writing out my wedding list. Mm-hmm. I was on the couch like, okay, I'm gonna send this person an invitation. Those are the kind of things that I was doing. But I think when you get into a situation where you guys are shacking up, it is playing house, and then you become very comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous. And before you know it, we done been together for 5+ years, and we ain't even thought about marriage because in your brain, well, we already basically married. We've been together for this long. We've been living here. What's the difference? Mm-hmm. That's what happens. You get comfortable, and then you let go of those standards that you have for yourself. You let those go.
Absolutely.
And I know for me, I did not let that go. No.
It's like you living in. It depends. I mean, as a believer, it's like mm-hmm. you're living in the sin almost that you trying to get away from.
Yeah.
Because we talked about having kids out of wedlock. Mm-hmm. When we're living together, we are basically acknowledging that we know this is wrong.
That is
wrong.
And
continuing to do it. And I feel like a lot of people, should just get married. But I think as far as like the way that the government works, it's crazy that our government works in a way that also keeps us single.
Yeah.
Keeps us not wanting to get married because we lose benefits based mm-hmm. on, okay, let's get married. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now we got to file our taxes together. Yeah. Now we can't get, you know what I'm saying? We can't qualify for certain stuff based on us being married.
Yeah.
However, in a covenant context,
and that's where it's different.
And if we want to build a home, and if we want to change the generations of our family, and if we want our kids to grow up mm-hmm. in this stable home, because mm-hmm. we talked about how marriage, you can always get divorced. Mm-hmm. However, if we live together, talk about divorce. I could leave today mm-hmm. and never come back. Mm-hmm. I go to the store and never come back. Mm-hmm. Literally, if I want to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's hard to build a home because nobody gets stability. Nobody is, I don't know, nobody has a peace of mind when there's no foundation here, like you said.
Yeah, if it's no foundation, there's nothing, and that goes into that covenant that you was talking about. And another reason why I said staying together and shacking up is playing house. And what I'm taking it all the way back to the beginning when I said you get comfortable, and then what happens is we already in sin, so we're just gonna take it even a step further. We're gonna start fornicating, then we're gonna start having all these kids. Then maybe 3 years on later down the line, we don't like each other at this point. We don't want to be together. We separate. Boom. Your kids are, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like just doing stuff like that. You don't think about it until like, I guess after you've been through it.
And then you grow up and it's like, because as you get older, you start this, like I hear kids all the time be like, and we see this on the internet, a lot of people be like, my parents divorced at this time. But a lot of the times, your parents was never married.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But people will say like mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. to make the story sound better, my parents divorced. But when you grow up as a kid and you realize, hold up, they was never married.
Yeah.
That don't sound good.
Yeah. Right.
For me as a child, knowing that my parents split up and they was never married.
Yeah. So playing house is a to save yourself the trouble, just don't do it.
That even shows you that people will be like, well, my parents divorced and they was never married.
They was never married.
That shows you that marriage is important. Mm-hmm. That I have to throw this on here for people to even accept this story. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because it sounds crazy if you don't say, like, my parents they was together until I was 7 years old, then they divorced. But a lot of those parents don't even be married.
Right.
I just wanted to make that point. What does it mean to build something together, not just share a space, but to create a legacy, a vision, a foundation? How is that different from being roommates who sleep together? Because we're talking about life insurance now. We're talking about let's get into it. We're talking about life insurance. We're talking about beneficiary.
Yeah, that's true.
We're talking about investment accounts. We're talking about a lot of things. We're talking about some mutual mutual funds.
Yeah.
We're talking about all kinds of. We're talking about taxes, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That is
I ain't doing that with my roommate.
exactly. You can't do it.
We don't got nothing to talk about. You don't need to know what's going on over here in this account.
Exactly. Yep.
As my roommate,
exactly.
you don't need to know how many taxes I'm getting. You don't need what I'm investing. You don't need to know any of that. You my roommate.
Yeah. So I think that all makes it different because, like you said, it's like we're not together. I mean, we're kind of just two people.
That's two people shacking up playing house.
It's like we on the same team.
Literally.
But we just want to get stats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's not, we're not sacrificing for the team because there really is no team here. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a, we just trying to get.
And that was good. There's really no team here. And that's why I think that, you know how some people say marriage is just a piece of paper, but you just laid it out very, very perfect. Because when you marry, it's a team effort, and we both understand that. I play a position, you play a position. We're playing for the same team. Exactly. I need you to do this, and I have to do this. I trust that you're going to do this as my teammate, and I'm going to do this as your teammate. Versus the whole roommate situation. I don't trust you to do X, Y, and Z, and 9 times out of 10, you probably shouldn't trust me.
It's like
my role either.
It's like a job.
Yeah.
Like if I get a job for a company, I gotta sign paperwork.
Yeah.
A company ain't about to pay me.
Yeah.
Ain't about to let me come into their building and touch everything that they got in their building unless I sign something that lets me know that. You know what I'm saying, if me and you doing some work and we don't got no LLC or no business behind it, then we ain't. It's not a foundation. We're not building anything as of yet.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like
you gotta get out of that mindset.
we look at that the wrong way.
It's a piece of paper. No, it's much more deeper than that. It's not a piece of paper. Because if you ain't gonna marry me, then I'm only gonna give you bare minimum.
Exactly.
And that's the reality. That for men and women, you only getting bare minimum.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like going to the store and buying $100,000 worth of stuff and they don't give you a receipt.
Yeah. No.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no, I need a receipt for this.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In every form of our life, we have paperwork. We have these.
Yeah.
It has to be an agreement. There's agreements. There's a book called The 4 Agreements. You know, there has to be some type of paper trail behind everything, and we sitting around here talking about it's just a piece of paper. But you'll sign out a piece of paper for everything else.
Well,
sorry, we went in about that, but that's crazy. What do you want our home to be known for? What legacy are we creating for our kids, our community, and our future? And we'll end it here. This will be the last question.
So when people come to my home, I want them to feel love. I want them to feel God. I want them to experience God. That's what I want.
Okay.
And same thing with the children. The children, I want them to feel love. I want them to just feel the presence of God. That's truly what I want. I don't have a huge, when you come here, I want you to feel I know. I don't have like a big extravagant list. It's just that simple for me. And be in peace. Peace, love, and God.
Yep.
That's it.
I feel the same way. I want you to come here, and I'm going to talk about this tonight a little bit. I want you to be inspired. Not as in inspired by what I have, but inspired by what we do, like our environment, like you said, peace, like the music that plays, the art in the house. You know what I'm saying? I want you to understand, and I want this to be a place to where my children can learn to love to learn. They can learn to, like you said, love God, and it to be a safe space. I love when my kids come home and they go to their rooms and they happy to be in their own room. You know, they happy to they can. I love to go upstairs and I walk past my kids' room and they just sitting chilling in their room. You know what I'm saying? I love that this is an environment that they can escape the world from. You know what I'm saying? They can escape from their world to their own room, to their own house where they feel safe, you know, and I want that. That's what I wanted to represent. But to people coming in that are not a part of our family, I wanted to represent a space that is inspiring and that is a place that offers peace and where we can have. I've had multiple friends here just recently. My friend, my boy Brian came over. Theo, they came over. We having these deep conversations. You know, my house. I love that my house inspires people to relax and let a load off and
just
be able
chilling.
to get it off their chest. You know, then E and Ben just came over a couple days ago. We able to relax, kick our feet up, get a meal. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like I love my house to represent. You know what I'm saying? We have a housewarming. People were, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people were comfortable, you know? Like you said, they get a meal when they come here, you know? They get peace of mind and they're able to unwind and not be so uptight about the outside world.
About what's going on outside.
That's what I want my house to represent. And it represents that to me. And it allows me to have a platform for me to build, for us to build this podcast, for me to do music, for you to write your books, for me to work on my books, for us to do all of this stuff, for me to code, for me to work, you know? I love that this home provides that for us, and I wanted to inspire people to create spaces that inspires them as well, to follow their dreams, know that anything is possible, and to love the Lord and to find peace in the Lord. They say the peace is the absence of confusion. I want my house to be a place that lacks confusion.
Yeah.
And that represents God's love to all of us.
Yeah.
That's why I say fear the Lord, and that's why I say put God first. That's the absence of confusion.
Yeah.
Because once your day going on, I think we talked about this on the last call. Once your day going on, and you worry about 100 million things, I got to do dishes, I got to do this, blah blah. You get confused.
Yeah.
Peace is the absence of confusion. And that's what God represents. And that's what I want my house to represent. And through all of that, we model God's love through our home.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was long-winded there.
That's a word.
But I love peace. Peace is my thing, boy. Good music, good jazz music, good, you know what I'm saying? Soul music, whatever. You know, I love that. And that's it. You got anything else? Oh, that's it. We're going to end it like that, y'all. Pre-order the book, Tripping for God, HopeForRadio.com. We'll see y'all in the next episode. Love y'all. Peace. Like Pam say.